You're listening to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
What is up, everybody? It's Taco Tuesday here for Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. will be joined by a very special guest, FCS General Contracting Zone, Chris Leija, the equalizer on X or Twitter or whatever you kids are calling it these days. He's going to be joining us tonight. The head of the table, the tribal chief, whatever you want to call him when it comes to the USOA as well. But again, it is Taco Tuesday here at Sweep the League. We're going to be talking about some Olympic basketball. We got the Final Four set for you guys. We're going to kind of break it down a little bit. We're also going to get some background, a little bit of NCS. You know, it's a sponsor night, so we're bringing on some sponsors from time to time to kind of see how they're doing, give you all a little background, stuff like that. Also, 2028, the missions are going to be downtown. April of 2028 is the date that they are looking at to bring the San Antonio missions downtown. From a business perspective, how does that look for San Antonio? Will that attract more people to downtown? Will that allow more people to jump on, you know, the bandwagon downtown, maybe get some more businesses or something? Well, we're going to go through all that tonight. We'll see what Chris says about that. Hopefully, Derek can come on. If not, we'll have him on for tomorrow, but we're trying to get him on as well. Hopefully, so I want to get his opinion on the Olympic basketball that happened today, but nonetheless, let's bring him on here. It's going to be the head of the chief, the head of the table, the tribal chief himself, Mr. Chris Leija. Chris, what is up, man?
What's up, my brother? How you doing today, man?
Good. First and foremost, man, wanted to tell you from myself and everybody at Sweep the League, appreciate everything you do for us. You're a great sponsor of ours. We appreciate you joining us, and also for all the work you do for the other community as well. I know you do a lot of stuff when it comes to baseball teams, softball teams, you know, teams in general. For kids, you also help out with other podcasts in the country, in the city. So appreciate everything you do, man. For MCS General Contract to be a part of it. Give everybody a little bit of background, because this night belongs to you, being that you are a sponsor of Sweep the League. So a little bit of background on MCS.
Yeah, man. So MCS was born in 2010. My dad has been working for himself since 99, 2000. And in 2010, my mom came to the boys, the men of the family, and said, "Hey, I need you guys to take over and let your dad just work. He just wants to work. He doesn't want to worry about the business side of things. Mm-hmm. And I need you to come up with a new name." And, you know, MCS was born, man. So the MCS, the initials for me and my brothers, Mark, Chris, and Steve, that's what the MCS is for. There's more of another backstory to it, but I'll keep that story for another night. Excuse me. Nothing crazy, you know. It's obviously you can see the cross on our logo and everything, you know. Mm-hmm. So we keep our faith strong, you know, when it comes to our business as well. But yeah, man, you know, we do concrete work here in the city of San Antonio and its surrounding areas. Yeah, man, we're everywhere. You know, people ask, you know, how far y'all willing to go? Man, my pops used to do work in Little Buff in Arkansas. Yeah. So we go everywhere, man. It doesn't matter where it's at. You know, wherever there is work, we will be there. And people always ask us, you know, well, you know, how are you compared to everybody else, you know, price wise? And I always tell people, you know, from the very beginning, we are not the cheapest, but we are not the most expensive either. Yeah. You know, we like to offer, you know, high quality service and the best product we can. And sometimes that means, you know, telling customers things they may not want to hear, and, you know, trying to guide them to make sure they get not what they want, but what they need. Because there's a huge difference between that. But yeah, man, ever since 2010, me and my brothers have been doing this. My younger brother, you know, kind of took over in, 17? And then I returned back in 21 after my son was born. And, you know, been here since, and I don't see myself going anywhere else, man. The goal was always to, you know, have the family business be successful. So that's why we're here. And hopefully we can continue to grow as a business and continue to support people like you and, you know, everybody else that we support. I'm very big on giving back, you know, as much as I can when I can. Sometimes whether that's, financially with money or in any other shape or form, that's what we're here for. So if anybody ever needs anything, you got kids that play, Little League, whatever you need, you can always contact me, and, we're always here to help. But
the
man.
good thing, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. I mean, that's pretty much, what we're about. Like I said, at MCS, man, we're here to provide good work for people, and just be honest with everybody, from the get. So, but yeah, man, that's it.
Yeah, that's the backstory we need here. We started the show, by having you talk about MCS, and, we talk about foundations. And to be honest, I got to bring the other part of the foundation of Sweep the League on, and that's Derek Gervin himself. And you know what? I'm going to put myself in the corner, Chris. I'm going to be in timeout because I failed to mention it's Hall of Famer, Derek Gervin. Derek, man, welcome to Sweep the League again. You had an entire 3-day weekend. You and Gio, Gio's using all of his PTO time. I got to get on him for this. He's using way too much of it, Derek.
How you doing? How you guys doing?
Doing good, sir. How are you?
Good,
fine,
man.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, so we're talking to Chris, Derek, MCS General Contracting. He's on the show with us tonight. He gave us a little bit of background on MCS, and this first segment was brought to you by none other than MCS General Contracting. When we talk about foundations at Sweep the League, foundation is the key to everything. Family, the new home. You know what? If I ever win the lottery and start a business, Derek, I'm probably going to have to pour a damn parking lot somewhere for my employees. I'm going to make the call to MCS to get that parking lot poured. Everything's going to be done by MCS. Why? Because they're the best in the business. As Chris mentioned, you know what? They may not be the cheapest, but the reason why is because they're the best. That's why. You're going to pay for the great product. You're going to pay for the great results. And you know what? It's going to be done right the first time. And you know what? I know Chris says it all the time. If there's any issues, they will take care of it. They will make sure you are satisfied 100% of the time. That's why they're a sponsor of Sweep the League. They go hand in hand with Sweep the League. MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. This first segment is brought to you by MCS. So it's Team USA, Chris and Derek. And, people are all up on Team USA right now, and we're loving it because it's America. And then you've got Germany, who's hell, to us, they're probably the better team in the Olympics right now. Canada's gone. Bye-bye, Canada. France is the other team that's in now. Serbia's the one where I was like, man, I don't know if they're going to actually make it through everything, but they actually did. So our final four are Serbia, Team USA, France, and Germany. And we actually got a fifth entry here because I think Gio got the memo and said he can't use his PTO time anymore. So, Gio, you're back on Sweep the League. You know what? I'm not even going to dock you any pay. You're not fined at all because we got Chris Leija. I got to be nice to you tonight, man.
Well, Rudy. Nah. Cook 'em.
Today's movie night, as I've told you before, on Tuesday. So I got in a little bit before or after 10. So I said, well, I'm going to hop on since I had some time. But
I didn't know it was movie night. You don't tell me this is Netflix and chill night for Coach Gio.
No, this is $5 Tuesdays, man, at the movie theater. So
okay. All right, we're gonna let it go here for the night. So
I still have my PTO for today, though. So
yeah, you use the 13 minutes of PTO time. I will dock it here. Everybody's joining us in the chat, man. So we got a full lineup tonight. Again, thank you for Chris Leija stopping by here at Sweep the League. So we're talking Team USA, and I want to start off with Derek here. The going into the medal round, basically the final four. Derek, who's the favorite? Because for me, I mean, I've been saying United States is bronze. It's LeBron's James is what I've been saying. The only way for that to happen is Serbia pulling off the upset with Jokic on the floor. There's a good possibility Team USA could go down. What are we looking at in the Final Four, Derek, real quick here? We're going to go around the horn after that.
Well, first I'm saying good evening, Gio. The favorite, of course, is the USA because you have to always go by, if you look at every team that's playing their best, or all the teams are playing their worst, who's going to be the favorite? And that would be Team USA. They have a roster full of all-stars, Hall of Famers. So, of course, they would be the favorite. But it's going to be hard for me. I don't know if Serbia has enough to keep up with them, but I think they'll make it a more competitive game because this is the third time they would have played if you count the exhibition game. and of course the game they had in the group. So it's going to be hard for the USA to duplicate, I think, the first 2 games. But looking at the way they're playing right now, we started to get some production from guys like Anthony Edwards. KD, of course, has brought something to the team. And then you look at today, I know it's not a good barometer for me, Brazil. But Steph showed up today. You got something from Tatum. So as you look at it, as they continue to play, you're starting to get something from more guys. And I didn't pick the USA. I thought they were going to have trouble. I still think they will, but I think they get past Serbia. And Gio's shaking his head again, but I played in that overseas for 10 years. I'm going with the USA to beat Serbia, but right now the USA would definitely be the favorite.
Why are you shaking your head, Gio?
I've been saying it. Team USA is going to win the gold.
Oh, settle down.
Saying it for the last episodes. Don't worry, Team USA will take care of business. I think the stars will show up. Serbia's going to be good, but I just don't think they'll have enough.
This is the Mighty
USA.
Ducks, bro. All right, it's not a make-believe thing. There's a good possibility they won't beat Germany. I mean, it's a great possibility if Germany makes it.
Team USA wins the whole thing.
All right, Leija. I'm going to go to you, man. Are you seeing anything different? Can any team stop Team USA from winning that gold? We want the what is it? The diamond hard answer right here from MCS's own Chris Leija here.
Look, man, I think that USA should win, right? You have the best players in the league in the NBA, and all of them, for the most part, come from here. And I don't see how they could, lose. But you've seen crazier things happen, in sports. I tell you what, though, if it ends up being USA versus France, and France wins, I'm telling you, man, I've been thinking about that Rush Hour 3 scene where the guy tells them the dream team is dead. You can't even win at basketball anymore. I'm telling you, man, if that happens, it's going to be crazy. But, you're seeing, obviously, LeBron's LeBron. As much as I, clown on him on Twitter and whatnot, he's a freak of nature, man. And being, 40, 41 now? And he's still doing what he's doing.
39 going forward. Yeah. Chris, you said freak of nature. Is that the same guy that got 4 stitches a day and act like he got shot?
I gotta remember. I gotta keep it clean for tonight. Man, he's soft. I mean, obviously, when the AC went out here in the AT&T in the finals, he couldn't even finish the game because he had some cramps. I mean, I deal with cramps every day, all day. And I don't just call it quits, when it's 104 outside. But no, I've always said he's very athletic. Like, I mean, he can play any of the 5 positions. I still don't consider him the GOAT. Everybody knows that to me personally, the GOAT for the NBA is Tim Duncan, and I will argue with anybody all day, every day on that. But no, I think at the end of the day, US should win the gold, and if they don't, man, get ready because the memes and the shit talking on social media is going to be epic. So, but we'll see.
Rudy, and
yes,
can I say this?
Yeah.
If the USA doesn't win, people shouldn't be acting like it's really a surprise. I've told you about Germany before we started even going into the tournament. Yeah. And for some reason, people would not take Germany serious. Who's the world champion from last season?
That'd be Germany. They're
not a pushover. And the reason I say that is because the FIBA is not all about talent. If you look at it, it's about style of play. And I could prove it just looking today. Canada has a lot of pros too, don't they?
Yeah, they're like 10.
Jamal Murray's style is not made for FIBA. Tim Duncan's style was not made for FIBA. Dylan Brooks, Luo Dort, those guys struggle. And you've seen them continue to struggle throughout the tournament because people have to realize it's a different ball game than the NBA. There's less spacing. The three-point line is shorter. So there's not the room that you have in the NBA. And these guys are used to the rules. So it's not going to be a cakewalk. We got to look at us. In the half-court game, we're not a great half-court team. we're used to seeing us getting out on the break. Anthony Edwards getting his dunks, LeBron getting his dunks. It's not going to be that easy against Serbia or Germany because they're going to start minimizing the possessions, slowing the game down. You see Germany beat Greece. What was the score? 76-63.
63. Yeah.
It wasn't 100. So that's how you compete against the USA. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but it's not going to be as easy as people think. You're talking about teams that have they're used to the competition. They know FIBA basketball, and that's what's going to give them an opportunity to pull off the upset.
Yeah, the thing too is I even heard someone say that if the Dream Team was to lose, the only thing they'd be dreaming about is being on that medal stand because they probably wouldn't get a medal. And I kind of was laughing at that. But, the thing with the Dream Team is you made a great point with like Jamal Murray and the other NBA guys that are obviously a part of Team USA. It made me pose a question to myself that I wanted to ask all you guys tonight was if you paid superstars the way they played in FIBA, a lot of these guys wouldn't be getting max deals. And I'm talking, to be honest, like you mentioned, Jamal Murray. I mean, in the NBA, he's getting buku money from Denver. But if you were to say FIBA rules and the way they play in FIBA ball, Jamal Murray's not a max player. He's, run-of-the-mill type player. He should get run-of-the-mill money. And that goes for a lot of players. When FIBA rules, to be honest, as much as, a lot of people do consider Tim Duncan as the GOAT. But if you look at FIBA Tim Duncan, he's not really a max guy, FIBA-wise. And that's the difference between the FIBA rules and the NBA rules. And that's why I would love to see the FIBA rules kind of adopted into the NBA somewhat, even though it will never happen. But you go back to the Piston days where it was like 84-79 and, you get the low scoring, but you see why a lot of these guys struggle in international ball. And I thought, well, hell, man, guys that are getting paid all this money, could they even handle world basketball? That makes a huge difference for me. But you're right. Team USA is the favorite. I mean, they're actually clicking right now. Apparently, Steve Kerr maybe text messaged Mark Jackson to see what he would do in certain situations or anything like that. Maybe he's allowing Spoelstra or somebody else to do the coaching. Who knows? But they're coming around. Do I think they lose to Serbia? No, I don't think they lose to Serbia. I think it's a lot closer than the last game was. But if you had to go, if they went up against France, say France pulled off the upset and did upset Germany, does France have a chance against Team USA? Because everybody's looking at one guy in San Antonio, and that's that 7'4" kid out there who plays for France. I mean, if France was to upset Team USA, that would be the second gold medalist on a San Antonio Spurs team. I don't see it happening. I think Germany has better chance, but what happens if France does win? I mean, that's the question I think I'd pose to you guys. What happens if they do win? Who wants to start? You want to go, Chris? We'll let you start off this one.
Man, if France wins, San Antonio's going to go crazy. I think somebody commented on here that we're going to go honky downtown. And there it is. Yeah, Mario. He said we're going to go downtown on Commerce Street honking. It'd be insane. I saw somebody posted earlier today after the game that they're like, oh, man, you can see the refs are trying to get, France to win. Obviously, who wouldn't want that final, right? France versus the U.S., France in their home country playing and, potentially winning that gold medal. Yeah. But, man, I'm not going to lie. I've been keeping up with it as much as I can, but these games go on during times where I'm too busy, out there working and whatnot. So I try to keep up with highlights and, the stats and whatnot. So can't really say too much, but, if you just never know, man. Sports are that thing where anything can happen on any given Sunday or any given day. Whether somebody gets injured or that lucky shot, goes down, and a team makes it, to the next stage in the tournament. So, I mean, I'm just here to. I would prefer France to lose already, so Wemby can, get back to San Antonio and start getting ready for the NBA season. But we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah. Derek, before I go to Gio, what do you think about France? If France was somehow to pull off the upset, I don't expect them to beat Team USA, but how good would it be if it came down to that?
Well, they have a chance, and the reason they have a chance is because I told you they were going to miss MB, that inside presence.
Yeah.
But today they had the guy Lasorte. Man, he was the MVP today offensively, and then you had Yabusele. They carried the team, and then at the end, Evan Fournier scored the last 7 points to win the game. But defensively, Victor was the key to the whole game. He had guys jumping up in the air, then they see him, then they throw the ball, turnover, throwing it in the backcourt, and that includes SGA. Shea Gilders, everybody looked different. Dylan Brooks tried to score at the end of the game, and Victor was all over it. He could have blocked it with his neck. So Victor was very, very instrumental defensively. And if they were to meet USA, it's kind of funny because they played the guy Lasorte and Yabusele, so that leaves out who? The defensive player of the year played less than 4 minutes today, and that's Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying about it's a different. Canada had Kelly Olynyk didn't play at all.
Yeah, I didn't even see him on the court when I was watching.
It's a different game. They went a different direction, so it's just a different game. But if France were to win this game against Germany, and it's possible, I'm like Chris. I might head down to Commerce Street myself because that would be quite a feat. And then to see them play against the USA, I mean, that would be big time. It'd be good for the media. It'd just be good, and it'd be good for the city of San Antonio.
Yeah, what? Can we easily say, Gio, that I'm the best Rudy in the Olympics? Because Gobert sucks.
Oh, the Frenchman, Rudy.
I'm not French, though.
I meant I meant that Frenchman. Yeah, no, he's I didn't agree with him winning Defensive Player of the Year, but we can talk about that a different day. I think this would be, if France found a way to win, big upset. Of course, San Antonio is going to go crazy, but just the brand of Victor is just going to explode, as is already have done with what Nike's been doing. He's only continuing to get bigger and bigger. If they can pull it off, anything's possible. We've seen upsets throughout the years, especially in the Olympics. So if it happens, it's probably going to be another fiesta in San Antonio.
Rudy, what did Victor score today? About 7 points? I think he ended up with 7 on that last layup at the end of the game.
Yeah, I believe it was 7. I can get it for you real quick right here. I actually had it a little second ago, but
I'm sure he only scored about 7. That's why I'm saying the game is different.
Yeah, so I mean, Victor, he ended up with 7 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals, 5 assists, and 1 block. That was his stat line.
So they got contributions from everyone. And they can continue to do that. I mean, it's one game knockout, like Chris said. This is one game you go home. And so pressure could also hit the USA. If you keep it close the first half, human nature, somebody's going to start cracking under pressure. So if they can get through Germany, which I don't expect, it'd be something to talk about. I picked Germany, but I mean, anything can happen in a one-game knockout.
Yeah, I think Germany's going to – honestly, it's probably going to be Germany, Team USA. And then from there, I like Germany a lot, man. They play really hard-nosed defense. They play smart basketball on the offensive side of the ball. They play everything. They're playing really well. I think they're playing a lot better than what we're seeing out of Team USA. To be honest with you, as a team, as a collective team, I would probably look at Germany as being the gold medal favorites going in to the Final Four. This is Sweep the League. We are here with Chris Leija of MCS General Contracting, sponsor of Sweep the League. And before we go to commercial break, Gio and Chris, I'm listening to my headphones, and I got a producer telling me to circle December 1st. Because that's when the Rams travel to New Orleans. And from what I'm understanding, there's a little possible bet in between here or something. I mean, I don't know. That's
the Rams are going to do to them what they did last year. So I'm not really
here we go.
With that game.
Oh, yeah, man. Big yawn, bro. I'm going to tell you like my son tells me. Big yawn. Big yawn.
I'm not even thinking about the Saints, honestly. They're somewhere partying on that street.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep that up. I know you're a Mariners fan too, right? You're probably sleeping on the Astros too.
Oh man,
we're coming for you. We're coming for you.
That's what I like. The little cockroach. They just don't die, man.
I moved Gio up to the top with Chris, and I moved down with Derek a little bit. Me and him are going to be on the bottom here as you two guys are going to go at it, man. Circle December 1st is going to be the Rams and the Saints. I don't really I have to put up with Leija's Saints twice a year. That's for sure as a Falcon fan. So I'll worry about my own team later on. But right now we've
Dirty
got
Birds.
Dirty Birds, man. Thank you to Jamal Anderson for introducing us to the Dirty Bird himself. This is Chris Leija, Coach Gio, Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr. We'll be back in just a little bit. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Hey guys, are you ready for a flavor explosion? Look no further than La Cocina Taco Truck, serving up the best street tacos and quesadillas in New Braunfels. With a 5-star rating and rave reviews, they're not just a taco truck. They are a taste sensation. La Cocina staff is the best in town and pride themselves on making every customer feel like family. Whether you're feeding a crowd or just satisfying your own cravings, they've got you covered because no order is too big or too small for them there. Louis and his staff are all about customer satisfaction and they love their community. Don't worry, San Antonio friends. They're just a short trip away to New Braunfels. So why wait? Come visit La Cocina Taco Truck today and taste the difference for yourself. That's La Cocina Taco Truck, where every bite is a fiesta. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Pops the mastermind, got the team what we need. 5 rings deep, we the dynasty kings. From the Alamo Dome to the banners we bring. Respect the game.
All right, welcome back to Sweep the League Taco Tuesday edition, brought to you by La Cocina Taco Truck. Also, shout out to MCS General Contracting, Special Leaf Tea, and Castro and Sun Solar, all proud sponsors of Sweep the League. We're joined by Chris Leija himself from MCS General Contracting, Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, and soon to be 0-1 against the Saints, Ram ambassador himself, Coach Gio, finally off of PTO time.
Well, that Lions game, the Rams keep getting a lot of injuries in camp, so I don't know what type of team we're gonna have.
Hey, Gio, watch yourself here. You see what I'm wearing today?
You know, it's possible I might make the trip down to Detroit, Derek. I'm gonna let you know if I fly over there. But yeah, no, the Saints. I mean, look, I think they're gonna have a pretty good team this year, but that quarterback,
Which one?
Man.
You can't be talking about Spencer Rattler.
I'm talking about Derek Carr.
I was gonna say, yeah, Derek Carr. I'm not. I'm more of a Spencer Rattler guy.
Apparently, he's played well in camp, Rudy. Now I don't know if that's just, you know how media is.
We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice.
And that's why I said I don't know what's going on there, but Carr, I don't know. It's just he's good, but he just never.
Look, man. Here's the thing about Carr. Is that had he never broken that leg when they were in the playoffs when he was with the Raiders, that team could have won the Super Bowl that year. Okay?
Yeah.
I watched Carr before he, came to the Saints and whatnot. I had mad respect for that guy. Everything he does on the field and off the field. That dude has so much faith in himself and, of course, God and whatnot. He's just a great overall guy. I'll tell you what, man, the way the season ended last year for the Saints is I'm hoping they carry that same energy into this year and they do what the Lions did, last year. Because the year before that, the Lions, started off, bad and then ended off the season really strong. It just takes some time, for these guys to click. You know what I'm saying? The problem with the Saints is Michael Thomas can't stay healthy all year long. He can't stay healthy for 4 weeks straight. That's the other problem.
Keyshawn's cousin can't stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy. That's the biggest. Man, if we could just get a healthy Thomas, healthy Kamara, and Carr is just confident in himself. I'm not saying I'm not like Cowboys fans. They're going to sit here and say, "Oh, we're going to Super Bowl. We're going to do." No. We have a chance to at least win the division and get into the playoffs and do something. But it all as they say, the football gods can sometimes they giveth and they taketh away. Man, it's just rough sometimes. And trust me, it's been a rough few years as a Saints fans with no calls and all these plays and just tell you what, them Rams though, man.
That pass interference, wasn't it? That one.
God, dude.
Even with the no miss call, Saints get the ball back, and Drew Brees, I don't know what he was doing.
You're gonna act like that didn't. You're gonna act like that didn't change the whole game. Come on, man.
It changed that. It changed that section, but Drew had a chance, man. If Drew does what he has to do, guess what? The Rams don't go to the Super Bowl. And the Saints, I'm pretty sure they beat the.
Yeah, because your Rams, geez, man, they just shit the bed that year.
I told Rudy a few weeks ago about this. If Todd Gurley is 100%, Cooper Kupp was out. He tore his ACL. If those two guys are there, I find it hard to believe, Rudy, with a prime Todd and Cooper Kupp. I just think the Rams find a way. But yeah, no, kudos to the Patriots, man. They were watching our practices once again.
Hey, didn't Jalen Ramsey hurt them when he started talking about he was Gary about bringing the Brinks truck and all that nonsense?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think Jalen was there yet, though.
Wasn't he there? He wasn't there at that time?
No, that was Marcus Peters and.
He was in Jacksonville still. Yeah, Jalen was still in Jacksonville at the time.
Well,
hey, the Rams.
At least
the Rams finally got their Super Bowl. I mean, they did get the Super Bowl, so that's all I really.
Well, I mean,
you got one event. You got yours eventually, but
yeah. I mean, at least the Rams and the Saints can say they've celebrated Super Bowl victories. I know the Lions haven't made it, but they're on their way. But at least they're no Atlanta team where they get there just to crap the bed every single time, especially being up.
You put a hex on your team, man.
I've already said it.
Like Matt Ryan, so.
Well, I don't. I turned 45 yesterday, and I'm still saying it. I'm gonna die a non-Super Bowl winner. I want a Super Bowl win in my lifetime.
Don't put that on yourself like that, man. Come on, man.
I've come to terms with it. I'm not
been to the Super Bowl. We've never even been.
But you're about to go. It's going to be.
But I mean, when you go, that means you get a chance to go again. That means they have a good system in place, and it's just about who gets hot at the right time.
That's true. Do they have a chance this year? I think they got a chance to win the division, but I don't see them doing very much this year. But as far as the Saints go, I'll give you this part of the Saints here. The second segment is brought to you by MCS General Contracting and La Cocina Taco Truck. A little bit of NFL talk here. When it comes to the Saints, I will say this. Now, you mentioned Michael Thomas. Now, Michael Thomas, you don't have to worry about him anymore. He's gone. He was released by the Saints, so we don't have to worry about Michael Thomas. But I'll tell you this much, Leija. The 1-2 punch of Chris Leija and A.T. Perry, that is a very, very good wide receiver system right there.
Yeah.
You can sprinkle in Rashad Shaheed, who had a really good year last year. But my thing is this. As much as everybody likes Derek Carr for the Saints, I prefer Derek Carr over David Carr every day of the week, obviously. But Spencer Rattler, don't sleep on him. I was saying that probably – depending what the record is for the Saints, week 10, 11, I think you might see Spencer get the start. That's just my opinion. What you see in camp and what you see about in the practices, you got to buy into it. The kid is really, really good. I was happy that the Saints got him. It fits their system. So I definitely see some big hopes for the New Orleans Saints, but as far as, Super Bowl picks, man, you got a Super Bowl pick in mind? If you got an AFC and an NFC matchup you think is going to happen? I know Derek and myself were saying the Jets and the Lions. That for me, that's my Super Bowl pick. For whatever reason, Gio said the LA Rams against the St. Louis Rams. He's just making up stuff now, from what I understand.
Leave those St. Louis people alone. They've been through enough. Okay, Rudy?
At least they haven't lost 28-3 and, so, giving up a 28-3 lead. So I'll say that. But if you got a Super Bowl pick, what do you guys see the Super Bowl, man?
I'll tell you what, man. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who's on the roster as a wide receiver. As long as Patrick Mahomes is there, the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs. They are, I wouldn't say they're my Sancha team. Obviously, I went to Texas Tech, so, Patrick Mahomes boy, he's my guy. But it doesn't matter who you give him, I feel like, at this point. No matter what receiver you put in there, he's going to figure it out. He's going to make it work, So I still think the Chiefs have a good chance of I said it, before the season, before the draft. I was like, man, I see them going for the three-peat. And I will still hold on to that. And I don't know who I would pick from the NFC side just yet. Got to wait and see and see what happens there. Because there's, everybody keeps thinking the Niners will, be back again. I just don't know just yet. I think they're having trouble with, who is it? Ayuk, trying to sign him to an extension or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with that.
Moved, so I think that's a huge loss for them.
So, I mean, I feel like the Niners were that team that they were just signing everybody and just paying out all this crazy money. And they got there. They got to the Super Bowl. They just couldn't get the job done. Yeah. I don't know if I see them, making it back again. But from the AFC side, I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs. Man, I like the Lions too, though. To be honest, even though they're in the same, I don't like to pick a team in the same conference as my own. But the Lions are they did very well last year, so we'll see. But I would not go with the Jets. That's for damn sure. Aaron Rodgers just. I hope he stays healthy. I never wish injury on a player, no matter how much I may dislike them. Yeah. I always want to see, the teams be 100%. Just to see that last year, I don't know. I don't see how he bounces back. Maybe he comes back the same way, but we'll see. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs. I think, to be honest, to win it, go with 3-peat this year. But we'll see. It sure is gonna be the Rams.
Well, the Rams keep getting injuries in camp. We're not going to do much of anything.
Why are you making excuses now? Let it ride, man.
Hey, it's one of those things where you start camp, guys are missing games. We already one of our corners out for the year. The offensive line is beat up, so it could be one of those things.
Next man up. That's it.
The Rams did sign two linemen. I think one from the USFL and then the kid from New England. But for my Super Bowl pick, it's tough because the Jets, I do like to pick, Rudy. It's a sexy pick. Aaron Rodgers coming back. The offensive line has been retooled. Yeah. They got a good running game. The defense should be able to travel, especially in those cold games. But I'm going to go in the AFC. I'm going to go with a little bit of a different pick. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow coming back after the season he had with, injuries, the team. They got some new set of characters coming on the offense. We'll see what the offensive line is. Historically, it's been terrible, but I'm going to go with the Bengals. Joe Burrow took that photo, Rudy, and I've been telling you, it looks like he looks like Cody Rhodes. He's
going to finish the story, huh?
He's going to finish the story, Rudy. So I got the Cincinnati Bengals, and, obviously besides the Rams that I think can go every year, but I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love taking the next step. I saw a lot. I want to see more, obviously, this season, but I got Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals right now because that could definitely change in a few months, but preseason picks, I'm going to go with the Bengals, Jordan Love against Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sticking with mine. Derek, has yours changed at all? You looking at Jets Lions? You got any else here? Because I do want to ask you a question in a second.
Mine hasn't changed, but I know for Patrick Mahomes, his kryptonite would be only one guy, and that's Joe Burrow. That's from what I've been seeing the last few years. I think he brings the most fear for Patrick Mahomes. I can't see it from any other quarterback. But with the Jets, I mainly picked the Jets because of their defense. I don't think Aaron has to do as much as he had to do offensively in Green Bay. And I think if they could put up, because if you look at it, they just averaged 19 a game last year, the Jets. Yeah. I think Aaron gets them over the hump as far as that. But I think their defense is going to be the key. And if their defense plays like I expect them to play, that's why I picked them. And then maybe sometime getting away from Mike McCarthy was a good thing as well. And then getting out of Green Bay, that's motivation for Aaron. So maybe now instead of focusing on the women that he's dating, he's actually focused on getting his team back to a Super Bowl and trying to resurrect his legacy, I'll say. Because at one time, wasn't everyone talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady?
Yeah.
So nothing else.
I never really.
So he has motivation, if nothing else. I mean, you got to put him in there. Gio, he was getting MVPs.
Lombardi's. It's been a long time, Derek, since he's won a Lombardi trophy. Sure, the MVPs are great, but
at least he's won one.
Okay, Rudy, we know your Falcons. Let's not talk about that team again. Aaron Rodgers, he's great, but I sit here today and tell you that him and Stafford have the same amount of Super Bowls, and I haven't seen Aaron in a Super Bowl in a long time.
Yeah.
But it took a long time for Stafford to get there, too.
Well, unfortunately, he was with a franchise that ran off two other players in their prime, Derek.
But did Stafford go to a new team and win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And isn't Jared Goff at a team now that some guys are saying are going to have the potential to win the Super Bowl?
I'm going to say
Stafford couldn't get it done.
Listen,
sometimes change is good. And Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, I give him a better chance than a lot of these quarterbacks out there, especially a healthy Aaron Rodgers.
I like Jared, but if they can't run the football, Jared could be pretty disastrous and not be particularly well. But I guess time will tell, Derek.
We'll see, man. The season's about to start. We got preseason this week. Louis from La Cocina Taco Truck is in here. He's showing the Chicago Bears.
The Bears?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to go see Louis face-to-face and talk to him because I got to sit him down and say, look, Bears are loaded at every position but quarterback. I mean, that's...
Hey, Rudy, I love you, man, but... I've been keeping up. A lot of people seem to be on the Caleb Williams.
Wait. I've been there. I've been there before, Derek. I told you Caleb Williams was going to be the man. Chicago really wanted to fight me and say Justin Fields should be the guy. Caleb's the guy. I don't want Caleb to be the guy, though, when the Rams play him. But, look, I think he's going to have a good year.
I don't know, man. All I know is that I'm still not on the Williams bandwagon yet. Will I ever be? I have no idea. I don't like what I saw in college.
But you're on the Daniel Jones bandwagon. Go figure, man.
If you're on TikTok, if you're on anything else, Gio, and you're seeing highlights out of Giants camp, Malik Neighbors is looking pretty damn good. And who's passing Malik Neighbors the ball?
Yeah, he's fighting because his quarterback is terrible, so he has to take it on somebody.
He's still getting you the ball. He's still getting Malik Neighbors the ball. So, I mean, hey, it could be worse. I mean, I don't know who's coaching the Broncos. Is it Sean Payton or Kevin James? Because now he's named Jared Stidham as quarterback one. Well, I don't get that at all.
Rudy, I'm pretty sure it's just preseason. Coaches talk. The coaches lie out all the time.
Why did none of you guys even put putting Philadelphia in the mix at all with Saquon? What about that with Saquon? Is that even put them anywhere in there?
Could be pretty good this season. We talked about them last week there. I said this is a team that should win, I think, 10, 11 games. They have the talent. The problem is going to be, can they balance Saquon's carries with the defense that they have at the receiver position? That's yet to be determined. Nick Sirianni's going to have to balance that out. The defense will be crucial. I thought the defense just literally fell apart. They had Matt Patricia calling plays last season at some point, and when you see him on the sidelines, run because he's been a disaster.
Yes, thank you. No, please stop mentioning him around me, sir.
No, I know that, Derek.
I'm wearing a Detroit shirt, and you mentioning Matt Patricia. Please don't do that to me.
We had Patricia calling plays 2 years ago. Patricia was with the Patriots. He was also calling offensive plays. It's just weird to me. Very odd.
Hey, Gio, Matt Patricia should have been sent to the CFL or somewhere, anywhere but Detroit.
The fact that Wade Phillips can't get to the NFL and Matt Patricia's still coaching is beyond me. Beyond me.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, man. We're going to take our last commercial break here for the evening. When we come back, we'll close out the show here for this Taco Tuesday edition. Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, future Hall of Famer Coach Gio, already going to be a Hall of Famer Chris Leija. Of course, I'm still fighting and scratching to get into any Hall of Fame. We'll see what happens when it comes to that here. This is Sweep the League. We'll be back in just a minute. Howdy from Texas. You've got to be tired of the sizzling electric bills and the Texas heat, right? Well, partner, we've got the solution for you. Introducing Castro & Sons Solar, harnessing the power of the sun to save you some serious cash. Their top-notch solar panels will have you soaking up the savings in no time. Imagine lower electric bills, a reduced carbon footprint, and the satisfaction of going green. Their expert team will take care of everything from installation to maintenance. We're talking hassle-free, worry-free, and stress-free solar solutions. So why wait? Join the solar revolution with Castro & Sons Solar. Let the Texas sun shine bright and your savings shine even brighter. Castro & Sons Solar, empowering your home one sunbeam at a time. Call them today and let's get this solar party started. Can you imagine a world where nature meets wellness, where every sip you take nourishes your body and soul? Introducing Special Leaf Tea, a line of 100% natural, ready-to-drink iced teas crafted to boost your immunity and energy. With 4 unique flavors to choose from, as in hibiscus blueberry, tangerine ginger, pomegranate blueberry, or the original, you can indulge in the perfect blend of taste and nutrition. Their teas are carefully crafted with 2 times the antioxidants and no added sugar. They're known to help with blood pressure, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, cholesterol, weight management, and even provide natural energy without caffeine. Join the movement towards natural wellness. Order now at www.specialleaf.com and start sipping your way to a healthier, happier you. Special Leaf Tea. Nature in every sip. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Spurs fans, are you ready to stay ahead of the game of the San Antonio Spurs with the best coverage in the business? Tune in to Locked On Spurs, the daily podcast that brings you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and all the latest news and updates for your silver and black. Join Jeff Garcia, the most informative and entertaining host in the game, as he breaks down all Spurs news and notes, interviews the biggest names, and keeps you locked into all things Spurs. From Monday to Friday, get ready to start your day with the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out on the expert opinions, the hot takes, and the can't miss guests. Make sure you're locked in with Locked On Spurs. Subscribe to their YouTube channel now and stay ahead of the game all season long. Locked On Spurs. It's the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out. All right, welcome back. We're on the last segment here for Sweep the League, Taco Tuesday edition of Sweep the League. Our last segment is going to be brought to you by MCS General Contracting. It's going to be brought to you by Special Leaf Tea, La Cocina Taco Truck, and Castro & Sons Solar, which shout out to Castro & Sons Solar because I'm going to be in the process, hopefully, of getting some solar panels on my house. I'm tired of paying the big time money for electricity, man. Gio, I need you to help me out with the electricity bill. I need you to give me some of that NIL money that we gave you to start the show here because it's adding up, bro.
Your check must have bounced, Rudy, because I have to pay you the money that you keep talking about every week. So maybe Derek can have some of his. And I know he has big time contracts, especially overseas.
Well, I don't know. I just know that Castro and Sun Solar is going to be helping me out. I think, Chris, you have Castro and Sun Solar, or you have solar panels, right, for your house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went through Castro and Sons myself, man, and shoot, man, that electrical bill last summer was killing me, man, killing me. I had some issues with my AC, didn't even know it. I got one bill one month that was $800 for the month.
Oh, wow.
Man, I was... Lord, I was happy. But got that fixed, and then we got the panels put on. And yeah, man, I mean, just the panels alone reflect that heat off the house. I have a metal roof, so it really reflects that heat off of it as well. Yeah. So it's tell you what, man, it's been helping out a lot. That bill that I get every month now from CPS. It's not as painful as it was before.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that, heck, if we were to get solar panels, the bill from our electric company is pretty much null and void half the time. So
yeah,
I'm actually I'm looking forward to it. So be sure to contact Castro and Sun Solar today. Tell them Sweep the League sent you. They'll take care of you 100% of the time, just like MCS does as well. So last segment is brought to you again by MCS General Contracting, Special Leaf Tea, Castro and Sun Solar, and La Cocina Taco Truck. We got about 6.5 minutes or so. So real quick, the San Antonio Missions baseball team, they're going to be moving downtown. Word has it April of 2028. So we're still about less than 4 years away from them going downtown. Business downtown then should be booming even more because you've also got the Spurs going downtown. You've got UTSA already parked pretty much there at the Alamo Dome. So having all these teams downtown, I want to ask Chris real quick, and then I can ask Derek and also Gio as well. But for Chris, getting these businesses downtown, obviously it's going to drive up the economy down there. It's already thriving with the new apartments and the whole rentals that are going up. You've seen some businesses going out there. But the economy-wise for downtown, that should be a boost to the economy. You being an owner yourself of a business, a move like that, it's got to be really on the positive side.
I'll tell you what, man. I've seen the work that's been done around the city, and this is definitely going to boost up the economy. And you've seen the moves that the city has made with the airport as well, and they're trying to add that new terminal as well to have more international flights.
Yeah.
More direct flights here in the States, and the next big move, it's going to be the convention center as well being expanded, because I think based on the all-star requirements for the NBA, the convention center isn't big enough just yet. But no, it's going to be good. Obviously on the construction side for myself, it's going to be great that all these moves are being made. The only fear that I have, honestly, is I've seen the work that was done on the St. Mary's Strip. These last, man, I think it happened through COVID up till last year, I believe, before they were finally done. Getting all the St. Mary's from 281 down to 35 area completed. Man, that was rough on the businesses down there on St. Mary's. I have a buddy of mine who owns 3 spots down there on the St. Mary's Strip. And it was rough for him, man, financially, because it just took so long. And I know I visited him one weekend, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, they just poured this approach here for us in the sidewalk." And I was like, "Yeah, man, it looks good, man, it looks great." I go by the next weekend, and he's like, "Dude, they tore it up on Monday and redid it again because it was wrong." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Wow. So my only fear is that it doesn't move as smoothly as it should. Now, I don't know if it's on the city side or the contractor side, on these projects, because I've seen it throughout the entire city, how some of these projects move a lot slower than they should. Yeah. And the thing about it is like us, we've tried to get into doing more work with the city, but the way they work, the way they pay and everything just doesn't line up for us personally. Yeah. Right. Like I said, we're not the cheapest, but we offer great quality work. I'm not saying that these contractors are doing bad work. to me is just the amount of money that they're getting paid. They're not living up to it. So I just hope that whoever is in charge of the construction when it comes down to this new stadium, obviously the Spurs are talking about, the new arena, that they hire the right guys to keep an eye on everything and it runs smoothly. Obviously, you're going to have things like weather affect things, supply and demand. I mean, I witnessed it a couple years ago with concrete, when things went haywire and it was rougher for us to get, the material that we needed. So as long as everything else, is going good, I really hope that the city can get it together and work with everybody and get these stadiums done right. But yeah, it should boost the economy downtown. I feel for some of the people that already live there and how it might affect their taxes. Because I have a sister-in-law who lives near downtown, so I know how that goes. So man, it just depends on how you view it. From a fan perspective, we're excited, right? We're getting new baseball stadium, new Spurs arena. But from the homeowner's side of things, it's kind of like, man, what is this going to do to us? Is it going to drive up our property taxes? Are we going to be able to sustain living here or not? So it's just a mixture of things, man. And for me, I can see it from both sides. Like I said, from the homeowner side and then from the business side of it. There's pros and cons to it. But I hope we call it the house that Wemby built. When they do that new Spurs arena. But man, for the baseball side of it, I hope that it also brings a major league team to San Antonio, because we're a growing city, top 10 in the nation, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason as to why we shouldn't have more than one professional sports team here in the city of San Antonio. So we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Hopefully we don't get the Mariners. That would be terrible. Derek, as far as Locked On Spurs goes, Jeff Garcia, a friend of the show and also Locked On Spurs. We're going to have Jeff on here pretty soon because I got to get him on the show to talk to him a little bit about the Spurs and also some other stuff. But he's asking, Rudy, but I'm giving you this, Derek, downtown sports complex, get the city another all-star game. Now, earlier I had on Twitter, I believe it was Dante Rose asked me and Derek, me and Jeff about how the Clippers arena was built and how everything looks great. It's modernized. Obviously, that's what the Spurs are probably going to end up doing. They're going to get a more modern arena, get it up to NBA standards. Does that mean an NBA All-Star game is in the future, possibly?
I don't know, because it depends on a lot of the stuff Chris said. It hit it on the head. To have an all-star game, to get to these venues is going to have to be kind of easy for everybody. They got to make it where the people want to come. So, it's going to have a lot to do with the logistics, I'll say. And if everything goes smoothly, which there's always going to be a few hiccups. But if things go smoothly, I think we could at some point. This is definitely bring more notoriety with them moving downtown, and it'll also bring more notoriety with them bringing the baseball team downtown. So yeah, I would think at some point down the line, San Antonio would be in line for another All-Star game. But everything has to go smoothly. Chris basically hit it on the head about the property taxes and all of this. I can tell you some people it's going to be good for, though. That's the people at Southtown, the people at La Villita. All those people will be happy. So it brings more notoriety to San Antonio with the team moving downtown. And, of course, having Victor. So I'm going to say having Victor alone, would bring a lot of NBA people here. So I'm going to say, yes, they will have an all-star game, another all-star game here within the next 7-8 years, I'll say. I can't say it's something that's going to happen soon, but I think it'll happen, yes.
Oh, definitely. Before we go, I gotta get to Gio here before we go, because I missed the guy over the weekend. I missed him yesterday. And if we were to get the Missions downtown, get the new Spurs arena, we also maybe get another major league team. Is that enough to get Gio to San Antonio finally? Because the guy works from home. I mean, come on, you can move to San Antonio.
I could, Rudy. A lot has to be behind it, but a baseball team would be nice. A major league team, an NFL team would be cool too. Though I'm trying to think anything else. I've been to San Antonio. I mean, I like the city. It is really hot in Texas though, and I lived in Florida for a long time, and I don't know if I really love the heat. I like having the 4 seasons, fall, spring. But it is a good
we have
possibility.
we have those too. We just talking about. They just happened in 1 week.
Yeah, it literally happens in 1 week for us in San Antonio.
Hey, Rudy,
Yeah.
didn't they have? Why do they never talk about hockey down here? Didn't the Iguanas kind of have some time where they were going well and the turnout was going pretty good?
Yeah, I went
Why
to
they
a
never
lot
talk
of the
about all
Rampage
the
games.
forts? I think in Detroit, now they have all the hockey team. They're all within 1 mile of each other.
Yeah.
And I know the Spurs kind of want to have a monopoly, man, but sometimes you got to come outside your comfort zone, man. Bring some other sports team here. Bring us a Major League Baseball team.
Well,
I think
baseball
people here would support that. I know I would.
I think baseball, though, Rudy, I think the talks are probably potentially a team in Portland. North Carolina has been talked about. Canada could be a potential, right? Montreal could get another team.
Yeah.
So I don't know about baseball, though. I don't. Is baseball big, Rudy, in San Antonio?
Okay. To make pretty much a last statement here, baseball can be big in San Antonio, but where you have the stadium located, which is on the west side of town, I know you don't really know San Antonio, but west side of town, pretty much around nothing. It's in its own little area. I mean, the traffic, it's not great. It's, you don't get a whole lot of traffic there anyway, and it's in a neighborhood, to be honest with you. So there's really nothing around there that attracts anybody to go to a Missions game. It's just kind of like, hey, let's kill some time. Let's go to a Missions game. We're going to a Missions game. So moving them downtown, you'll start to see more sellouts. You'll start to see a bunch of people going. Then you start adding the tourists that come in to San Antonio. You have companies that have conventions here. It's like, oh, hey, well, let's catch a baseball game. We can get the company, to buy tickets. You can have a baseball night out. Then you start attracting MLB. Could you attract NFL? That's a little bit bigger, I guess, picture, but you might be able to attract them. But MLB-wise, I think it would work 100% of the time here. It's just where the missions are located. I mean, you may as well put them where I live in Seguin, because it just doesn't locate a whole lot. It's not a good location for them at all. So I think MLB will work.
It's kind of like the Braves, right? Like, they're not in downtown, but they're in a good spot where
They got to be in a good spot.
they're like essentially that little area is completely all Braves. They could do something similar to that. And the new Spurs arena, I mean, that Clippers arena, Rudy, is going to look pretty dope. I mean, the way they have it situated, the suites, I think the replay board goes like all the way around the arena or it's just like a futuristic. Well, San Antonio, I definitely, and I assume they will have a modern NBA arena with probably a twist of Texas.
Well, what's going to happen is they're going to call MCS to build the damn thing, and they're going to, like Jacob Eric says, they need a sports district. They're going to call Chris and be like, we need a sports district, so we need you to build just about everything. And Leija's going to get paid, man. He's going to get paid. That's for damn sure.
It'd be nice, man. It'd be nice to to do a big project like that. I'll tell you that much, man. It'd be great. It'd be
Well,
great for business.
you got us behind you. We can get Jeff behind you as well. You can get a lot of people behind you and try to get the city of San Antonio to say, you know what, make that one call, man. So who knows?
Right.
You never know what happened, but
know.
yeah, man, for Taco Tuesday, it was been great, man. Chris, we appreciate you coming on. And again, as one of our major sponsors, we're going to have you on the show from time to time. We'd want to get you back on as many times as we can as well. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. It's been fun, man. I can't wait for December 1st. I'm actually got my alarm set for that day. I hope there's a bet somewhere in between there.
What time is that game, Rudy? Do you know what time that is?
Let me check my schedule here. I had my schedule up here a second ago. I'm not too sure.
Hey, Rudy, can I give a quick shout out before we get off the air to some of these? The Olympics have been fantastic, man. And to see some of these people that weren't picked to medal, to see some of them come and pull some of these upsets. We had a young lady today, last name Yavi from Bahrain. We've had Armand Duplantis. The pole vaulter, set a record. It's just the Olympics has been fantastic, man. And I just want to give these people a shout out that spent all this time, these last 4 years preparing for their big moment. And then they came through, man, and just shining through. And it's been fantastic to watch.
It really has been. Olympics are going to be wrapping up here pretty soon, so be sure to check out the rest of it. Olympics, you got the Final Four, the medal round for Team USA, and also France, Germany, and Serbia will be coming up here pretty soon. And to answer your question, Gio, real quick, the Rams lose on December 1st at 3 o'clock. So that's what time the Rams lose at.
I can't wait for that game. I can't wait for the Dogs to go up there in Austin and take home W.
It's not going to happen. I'm not even a Longhorn fan, and I'm telling you that's not going to happen. Come on, man. It is not going to happen.
You don't think Georgia has a chance, Rudy?
They have a chance, but they're not going to win in Austin. They're not going to win in Austin. There's no way.
I learned the hard way with Rudy last year. That man has been right about a lot of different things, man. He's got me on a couple bets so far, but I'm gonna get him back. That's for sure.
Kirby will have the boys ready to go. Hey,
Gio,
Nick Saban's not here anymore, right?
You think they're going undefeated, Gio, this year?
It's gonna be tough. We got Alabama.
Going undefeated this
we got
year.
Alabama and Tuscaloosa. We got, I think Ole Miss. It's a tough schedule. If Georgia can ride the ship, the problem is now in the playoffs. You got so many teams that you get a hot team going into the tournament. It could be anyone's game. Not North Carolina Tar Heels, but any other big time.
Roll Tide.
And look, that tournament. That playoff could be the SEC or SEC Invitational because there's probably going to be at least four or five teams. I think Ole Miss, Alabama's going to get in. I think Texas will get in as well. Oklahoma, I don't know what to expect from them.
Rudy, did he say he thinks Texas is going to get in?
He said thinks.
Hey,
Texas might end up national champion.
Texas might lose to Vanderbilt. I don't know.
They're not going to lose to Vanderbilt. Chill out, dude. Chill out. They're not going to lose to Vanderbilt.
Hey, the SEC is different, Rudy. It's a different brand. And listen, you're not playing Kansas or Kansas State or some of these other teams.
Did you just leave out Texas Tech because you didn't want to piss Chris off?
And the thing I learned about Texas Tech football is make sure you have enough drink in you before the game because it might be rough.
A lot of scoring.
We got some good memories, you know. We have some good memories, but man, it's never easy being a Tech fan. I'll tell you that much, man. But you know,
I mean, honestly, we'll take Texas, Oklahoma. Y'all can have Texas A&M because that 12th man is cool and all, but they haven't really done much.
They haven't done much since Manziel, right? Around that time.
Yeah,
that's true. Actually, yeah, that's been kind of last time.
Well, we've got our college football preview coming up as well. We're working on all that again. We've got your NFL preview. We're going to be going down through every division, giving you our winners. We've already given you pretty much our Super Bowl picks. We're going to see if that stays all the way through preseason. I mean, players got to stay healthy. That's the most important thing. But we're going to be coming to you guys with some college preview, also some NFL preview. And then a few months later, we've got NBA talk. We're going to see where we're landing on the silver and blacks, the San Antonio Spurs. But again, appreciate Chris Leija, MCS General Contractor, for joining us tonight. Thank you for everything you do, sir. If we can do anything for you, always reach out to us. We're here to work for you, man. So we appreciate everything that you do for us, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
For Chris Leija.
Pleasure to meet you, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. We got to get everybody to meet here. Everybody to meet except Gio. We'll put Gio on Zoom because he can't fly down here to meet
I'm coming to San Antonio one of these days. You'll watch.
Right.
I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go to your house and say, dude, who are you?
I will know who you are. I mean, I've known you. Leija, before I go, I've known Gio for years. I've never met the guy.
That's crazy, man.
How crazy is that? I've never met him in person. I've known him for years. Never met him in person.
I think I'm taller than you, Rudy.
Probably. But that's when you're wearing your high heels. And then you'll be taller.
Hey, Rudy, remember I had never met the guy that I do my show with, my As Good As It Gets show. I had never met Ricky.
Oh, Ricky? Yeah.
I've only met him now twice in my life, and all the time I've been dealing with him over the last 5 or 6 years.
That's
Derek,
crazy.
Quick question. Any word on Rob Parker? Did you ever get a chance to?
Rob been running around. I'm gonna write him again in the morning because I've seen him on Facebook the last 3 days. He's traveled to 3 different states in the last few days. But I'm gonna ask him again because he did tell me that he'll try to figure out how we can make it work. So I'll make sure I write him again in the morning and I'm gonna ask him for a yes or no answer. I'm just being honest. That's how I talk to him. If he can't make it happen, I just appreciate you telling me you can't. But I'm gonna put a little pressure on him in the morning.
There you go. I'm going to ask Rob Parker, why are you ducking Gio? That'll be the first question I ask him. Gio's not even, you can't duck Gio.
Hey, Rob, man, nobody. The greatest line, he called Tom Brady the loach.
I told him what Gio said. I told him about the loach. And what was the other one, Gio? You talked about the luckiest of all time. And it was something else. I told him.
You talked about Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, and he laughed about it. So I'm definitely.
He also talked about Robert Griffin, but we won't bring that up because
we'll save some for. Gotta save some for when Rob's on the show, man. But nonetheless, appreciate Chris Leija, Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, also Coach Gio, Rudy Campos Jr. We'll be back for Wacky Wednesday tomorrow, same time. Till then, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.
Everybody have a good night. Stay safe.